Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spotlight. Oh my goodness, it's so great to be here tonight. I have some wonderful guests. I have Shirley Dorsa, who is all the way down south in Santa Clara, and she's a wonderful dancer, choreographer, very, very exciting. She also now is a personal trainer in Santa Clara at the Bay Club. So we're going to meet Shirley very soon. And then a wonderful musician, Daniel Flores, who is classically trained in flamenco, and he also does some other songs and some other type of guitar, and he also sings just a little bit. So we're going to be introducing both of these wonderful artists. Stay with me. This is Spotlight, and I'm Kathy Holly, and here I am at home, high above San Francisco in Diamond Heights, lovely Diamond Heights, in my living room. So stay with us. And I want to introduce you first to Shirley Dorsa. Shirley.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Great to have you on the show tonight. Thank you for taking the time from personal trainer to come on to the show. And I want to talk to you first about everything else that you've done before becoming a personal trainer. Number one, we should tell the audience that we met in college, right?
Yeah. Yes, and thank you for having me, Kathy. I appreciate it. Yes, we did. We met at Santa Clara University, freshman year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I remember, we did musical theater there. And I do want you to tell the audience about your background as far as dancing goes and choreography. You were in college, of course, but you still were a dancer. You studied dance, right?
Yes, I was doing professional dancing with a group as well as doing solo performances and a solo act as well. And then at Santa Clara, I met you in the theater department, and we both did the musicals, and I choreographed, and you sang beautifully. And that's where our friendship began, which was so nice, many years ago.
Many years ago, and we've still been in touch, and we're still at it.
Yes, we are.
We're pursuing our passions. That's the most important thing. That's what keeps everybody going, I think, is definitely the passions. So tell me what your background was as far as dancing, though. Did you study as a child and then get really very interested?
Yes, I started when I was 5 years old. I was very shy and an only child, and my mother wanted me to be more outgoing, so she gave me dancing lessons at about 5 or 6 years old. And I continued with that and kept going and kept going. And my father had sort of had enough. He kept saying, okay, that's enough. That's enough. She doesn't have to do anymore. Well, I did enjoy it, and I kept going. And when I was about 18 or so, I trained with a wonderful teacher. She was just fabulous, and that's when I started doing professional work. She worked with me on an act, and I started doing professional work. And after college, I was booked into various places, Dutch West Indies, and throughout California, and that's where I live in California. So it was wonderful time.
Well, so I was thinking when you were dancing professionally, I know at one point in your career you were even with the June Taylor dancers from the Jackie Gleason show, right?
Yes, I did have the opportunity to audition for them, and I was accepted, and I went to Florida and down in Miami Beach, and that was, a wonderful time. I had just a fabulous time down there and danced a few years with them down there, and that's when I also went to the Dutch West Indies and did different club dates in Florida when I was not working on the show.
It must be great to look at your scrapbook. Did you meet Jackie Gleason?
Oh yes, we met him. We weren't, in, intimate friends with him, but he was very nice. After every show, he gave every woman on the show, from the secretaries on up to the dancers, a dozen flowers, either red roses or carnations. They would be waiting outside of our dressing room. And it was always such a special treat, and not necessary, but it was wonderful.
How lovely of him. See, that's a side we never knew,
Right.
But I always thought he would be great fun and a great man. I just loved his shows. I thought they were
Yes.
great. And how wonderful. What a great experience for you.
It was.
Now, so you decided to leave the professional part of it, and here we are fast forwarding. Eventually you got out of the dance, and when did you start doing personal training?
Well, I came back to California and I got married, so that brought me back here. And then I still continued dancing professionally. And then I always worked out and all. And then I decided, well, from there, instead of dancing anymore, as I got older, I decided to go into personal training and get my degree and all. And that's when I started doing the professional training, which I enjoy very much.
Oh, I think it's great. You're helping everybody. And
well, yes, you get to work with people.
All right, we're going to show a sample of what, since you teach at the Bay Club in Santa Clara,
Yes.
I want to show a video footage of you working with the big, I call it the big beach ball.
Oh, yeah.
An exercise. All right, so we're going to switch to the video.
Okay, great.
Hi,
Thank you,
I'm
Kathy.
Shirley Dorsa, and I'm going to do a couple of my favorite exercises. The first one is going to be abdominals on the ball, and I like to use the ball because it's a unsteady support for your back, so you're engaging more muscles besides just the abdominals. You're engaging the legs and the butt. So, okay, here we go. We're going to go back, and we're just going to lift, and you're going to relax the head in the hands, pull the navel to the spine, lift. Good. And then I usually do 12 to 15 reps. The second one is going to be for the obliques on the side. So this will be supported on your side, and all you'll do is go down and up. So you're really working through the side. And like I said, about 12 to 15 reps. Then of course you would do it on the other side.
Wow. I don't know. It just looks wonderful. I wish I was doing that right now to keep
Right.
myself in shape. And I mean, with the people that you get as a personal trainer, do you get all types of age groups? Do you get younger rather than
Yes.
seniors?
I've worked with 12-year-olds on up and up to 80, 90 years old. So it's very nice because we have a wide variety of people at the Bay Club. So I have the opportunity to work with them. It's a fun environment and I enjoy it very much. It's very positive and very happy.
That is so great. And tell everybody if they want to, I'm going to show another clip we have of you showing something to do. It's a different exercise and it looks wonderful. And if people want to get a hold of you at the Bay Club, how do they do that? Leave a message for you?
I would say call the Bay Club Santa Clara and leave a message with the front desk and I will certainly return the call.
That's wonderful.
Thank
Let's take another look at another exercise you did. I'm impressed.
Oh,
All right, exercise number 2.
all right.
Okay, my last one is a squat against the bench, and I usually like to have people squat so if they fall at all, they'll fall onto the bench. And when you do a squat, you want the heels to the knees to be in one line, so you don't want to let the knees go forward over the toes. So you're going to sit back and then come up. And you exhale as you come up. It depends, exhaling depends on which way you feel the most weight, so it possibly can be on the way you go down to. So great, hope you enjoyed those exercises, and thank you, Kathy, for having me on. Thank you, and that's.
Wow, that looks so easy the way you did it. All I have to do is just lift those weights and just go up and down. I love it.
Right.
It's really great exercise. Now, okay, flashback again to your days when you were dancing professionally and you danced with the June Taylor dancers. I found a clip on YouTube
Oh,
but the interesting thing is from the Ed Sullivan Show, and the June Taylor dancers are featured. And I want to show it to the audience because you were doing this before you were doing the exercises we just saw.
oh,
So
yes.
you have a lot of training and you're certainly still in great shape. So let's take a look at the June Taylor dancers. And I think this show was 1956.
Okay. That was before my time.
Before your time. I know I couldn't find anything later after graduation from Santa Clara. But anyway, I thought we'd take a look because with those kicks and everything else that they were doing, boy, you had to be in shape.
Thank you, Kathy.
So we're going to take a quick look. Isn't that amazing to do those forms like a kaleidoscope?
Yes, those were fun. That's what they were known for. Very much so.
It's-
It was fun. It brought back a lot of fun memories.
Is that basically what you were doing too, those kinds of routines?
Yes, that was very typical.
And you call it synchronized dancing, is that right?
Yeah, that's what it could be called. Yes. But with the kaleidoscope effect was very, very, very much fun and very fun to watch.
And, well, how many hours did you put in with rehearsal to get everything, looking so perfect with everybody doing the same steps? And
Oh, we worked 5 days a week, and then we taped on the sixth day on Saturday to a live audience. There were like 1,200 in the audience at the.
oh my gosh.
It was at the Miami Beach Civic Auditorium where they taped.
Really? They taped the shows. And then you went on tour and you went to these exotic countries?
That was by myself. I was booked with an agent out of New York, and during my free times. And then I went up and down the coast of the East Coast, and then went down to, like I said, Aruba, Dutch West Indies, Curacao, and I performed down there.
Well, you said you were doing solo performances in hotels, or what kind of performances could you do as a solo artist?
Well, the act was comprised of talking and then performing. I had a hot hat rack, and I appeared to change costumes as I would proceed from one type of dancing to another. So I did soft shoe, I did jazz, I did examples of tap and different things like that. And through each one, I had a hat rack, and with a little talking in between and sing-song routine, I would go through and change jackets.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's something I did in my cabaret show, kind of changing the style of singing and songs
Oh,
in my one-woman show. And I had hats over here, and put on that, do the Judy Garland song. Then I had a French beret. Then I had a Russian. Oh,
Right.
See, I have a
Same.
one woman show, so it would, it would be fun. I want to do it again. I'll do it again. I'll bring
Oh,
it down to the Bay Club. No,
okay.
we'll talk about that later. Shirley, this is great. Thank you for being on the show. Don't go away though, but I'm going to start interviewing Daniel Flores, our next guest.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I
Thank
want
you for having me,
Yeah,
Kathy.
and stay with us. All
I
right.
will.
Daniel, it's nice to see you tonight. Daniel Flores,
It's a
classical
pleasure. It's a
musician,
pleasure being here. Yeah, thank you for
flamenco
having me.
artist. Flamenco. I love flamenco and classical guitar. It's an art. When did you, first of all, where are you from? And originally.
I grew up in El Salvador and moved to the Bay about 2003, 2004. Yeah.
And should we tell you how I discovered you? Should we tell them, the studio audience or the audience out there? I discovered him in San Francisco. He was playing outside a Mexican restaurant, Lolo. One of my favorite places. That's a good commercial for Lolo. But
Lolo, you're doing commercials to Lolo, yeah.
and it's
It's a good
packed
place,
all
though.
it's packed all the time. But you are a professional musician and you have a website. I know we're going to be putting that up. And you do teach guitar as well. But tell us the background. You came to the Bay Area, but were you studying guitar before that?
Yes, I was studying classical guitar with one of the last students of Agustin Barrios Mangoré, who was a classical and composer, guitarist, contemporary of Segovia. And
Oh my goodness.
around that time, yeah, there was a school also of guitar that I also became part of it. It was our orchestra of classical guitar, and we would play like, Manuel de Falla, Vivaldi, Bach, all kinds of pieces. And it was such a beautiful experience, to share the music with everybody and like
Fantastic.
covering all the multiple sounds and, expression that the guitar can have,
Yes.
Then I came here to the Bay Area and studying, hearing all other kinds of music too,
Well, would you give us a sample of the background that that you have studying classical or flamenco? I think you're going to do something I know for us that is La Malaguena, right?
Yeah, La Malaguena is Malaguena Salerosa. Yeah, it's a Mexican song, but I think it also has the Spanish influence in it, because of the lyrics and all of that. And also the melodic lines, the moves in that E minor with P7. And it does that kind of like that. It does that. It's called the particular scale, the Andalusian scale, which is kind of famous, very popular among the gypsies.
Well, please go ahead, and you're going to back up a little bit, I think, because of the sound. Or are you in a good spot?
Right.
Great. Oh, go ahead.
So should I?
Yeah, we're ready. La Malaguena.
Qué bonitos ojos tienen debajo de esa tos seca, debajo de esa tos seca. Qué bonitos ojos tienen. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa. Y decirte, niña hermosa, que era linda hechicera, que eres linda y hechicera, como el candor de una rosa. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo te concedo razón, yo te concedo razón. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo no te ofrezco riquezas, tan solo te doy mi amor, tan solo te doy mi amor, a cambio de mis tristezas. Malagueña, salerosa, besar tu labio quisiera, besar tu labio quisiera, malagueña salerosa. Y decirte, niña hermosa, que eres linda y hechicera, que eres linda y hechicera, como el candor de una rosa, como el candor de una rosa.
Bravissimo. Oh, I love it. I want a margarita right now.
Where is the margarita?
Oh my goodness, that was so fantastic. But I
Thank
can
you.
hear you. Can you just do a few licks of the flamenco classical for us? Can you? Just a few licks, not a whole number, just a real quick little demo,
Sure, sure. Yeah,
Just-
it's,
real short. That is beautiful, Daniel. That is so gorgeous. It's something so romantic and peaceful. Now, isn't that part of a song or tune?
it's called Alhambra, Recuerdos de Alhambra, and it's supposed to resemble the waterfall falling from the fountains. Because they have
It
many
does.
in the palace, and so the guitar is supposed to resemble also the nostalgic of that time, and
Oh,
the water
it's-
also falling.
It's so beautiful. It really is. It's so peaceful. Now, you work with a violinist sometimes too, correct?
I do, yeah. He plays Roman music, Roman, like all kinds of music, Turkish, Greek.
So you
like
blend.
very. Some of them are like kind of known tunes within the Arab music,
Oh, yes.
but it's really fun to play with a violinist because you get to explore all different sounds that you can share, or as a musician, like you basically having a conversation
Yes, and
with
call
your fellow
and
musicians.
response, right?
It's all
It's
call
like-
and response, and then like you're playing, melodies and dynamics, and like it's really fun.
That's the way. So, what is your goal now? You're in the Bay Area. Do you make a living totally with music, or do you do something else?
Yeah, I just finished my BA in music and got my teaching credentials from San Francisco State University, and so I'm waiting to pick up a position as a teacher eventually soon, hopefully next spring.
Yes, because music for young people is so important. Many young people would never hear this. I taught music.
Yeah.
I taught music in in Pacifica at
Oh, really?
Good Shepherd private, Catholic school, and I taught classroom music,
Wow.
not orchestra. No, not that, but I would work on different like history of music and songs. And then
Right.
anyway, I was just thinking, how many young people today even their parents, don't hear this type of music. I mean, after the pandemic, I wish we could open all the doors and bring all the musicians, into restaurants, anywhere we could, because many places, where you have children are in restaurants, and
Right.
parents can't always buy concert tickets, But I
Right.
just think it's wonderful to hear the variety. So you said that you are also doing other styles now that you're in San Francisco. Is that right? You're working with
Yeah,
working
I've been
on
working with these Middle Eastern guitarists. I mean, these Middle Eastern violinists, and I also been doing other styles like reggae, a little bit of rock here and there, And
definitely.
What-
Can you show us? You have something else you promised you would play. I said I love the Gypsy Kings. You
Oh,
have
Gypsy King, yeah,
a
also doing
version of something, right? A volare.
yeah, sure.
Great.
So this is original an Italian song. It's called Volare.
To fly.
Yeah, it's called Fly, right? Volando. Pienso que un sueño parecido no volverá más. Que me pintaba la mano y la cara de azul. Y de improviso en el viento la vida me llevó. Y me eché a ir a volar en el cielo infinito. Volaré, oh, cantaré, oh, the blue, leading to the blue, feliz estar en azul. Y volando, volando, baby, yo me encuentro más alto que el sol. Que me extraña en el mundo salir con el paso de ti. Una música tocada solo para mí. Volaré, oh, cantaré, oh, the blue, deep into the blue. Felice di stare en azul.
Fantastico. Oh, I loved it. Daniel, now,
Thank you.
if anybody wants to know more about you, you have a website. And yeah,
We have a
It's-
website. I have a website called DanielFloresMusic.com.
that's fantastic. And I know you're going to be in my show, my cabaret Zoom show, Monday, November 1st. So anybody,
We're gonna be there too. We hope to see you there.
I'm going to see you then. You're going to wow everybody with some more music. Thank you so much. And Shirley, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. Let's wave goodbye to everybody. And
Thank you,
thank
Kathy.
you.
Everybody.
I'll be exercising now while I'm
Yeah,
playing the
do that.
guitar and singing.
To sing.
Did that.
Good.
After this
Perfect.
COVID. Yeah.
Bye-bye. That was great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think we're off. We don't have to worry. They're not taping this. So that's
Mambo Italiano, try an enchilada.